Hello, and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. We're going to have a lot of fun on today's show.
Why didn't you tell me that earlier on? You could have made my day.
Ooh, really?
For the good life. I've spotted a few sellers that are going to give our dealers a run for their money. That seems a decent offer, but you say you're not satisfied.
No.
I'm gobsmacked.
I feel like I've gone for one of those mangle machines and I've just come out the other side.
I can't give it away. It belongs to my wife. She'd never forgive me.
There'll be a few tense moments at the auction. We've got a two-way battle here between two determined bidders, which is what we want to push the price up.
220.
Yes, come on, let's go.
Today we're in Northwich in Cheshire and the den is full of people itching to take the dealer's money. So let's start at Tim Hogarth's table, where Connie wants to cash in her vase.
Fantastic Bezic vase, very trendy, very of the moment. The word is kitsch. It's the in thing and I would like to buy this vase today.
I bought this vase at a Christmas bazaar and I paid £4, but I'm not going to tell Tim that.
Of course not, Connie. Let's see if he's feeling generous.
You have brought a very, very bright Bezic vase here today, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Let's just have a look there. We've got Bezic, England, the Stoke-on-Trent factory. Now, it's not really what we expect from Bezic. We expect animals, don't we? Farmyard
That's
animals.
right, yeah.
And probably the most famous thing that they ever made, Bezic, was Hilda Ogden's flying ducks.
That's right,
Yeah.
the three birds.
And I would say that this is sort of like 1950s. And that looks a bit like a bamboo, doesn't it, design on it?
Well, I thought it looked more like a giraffe.
A giraffe?
Like a giraffe's neck.
No, Connie,
No,
I can't see that. A giraffe.
that's how I'm looking at it.
I see bamboo, you see
yeah,
a giraffe.
Yeah, well, yes, I can see bamboo now you say that, yeah.
And why have you decided to sell it now?
Well, I've changed my colour schemes altogether.
What colour scheme have you got now, Connor?
Well, more maroons and pinks.
Oh, looks shocking, wouldn't it, against
will,
maroon and pink?
definitely,
Wouldn't
yes.
look good, that.
Yeah,
So it's really now down to the money, isn't it?
that's right.
I think you're going to be quite tough with me, Connor.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I just think you'll be a hard negotiator. So, £20, Connor.
Oh, definitely not.
What did I tell you? I knew, didn't I? £30, Connor.
I'd like a little bit more.
Those famous words. I'd like a little bit more. If I took that away, Connor,
Yeah.
£40.
Well, just before you make up your mind, Connie, let me explain to you. Our independent valuers and auctioneers say 30 to 50. Tim has got down 40. I think it's not a bad offer. Now, you can go to the auction, and if you find a Beswick collector, and they're out there, they may pay a little bit more, but it won't be a lot more. And there's 15% to come off. So I'm going to say that's all right, that money.
You're right.
So you've heard what David says, Connor.
Yeah.
Have we got a deal?
It's a deal.
It's a
then.
deal. Thank you very much, Connor. It's been a pleasure. Now, tell me, where did you get this vase from?
Well, actually, I got it from a Christmas bazaar.
You're going to tell me how much you paid?
I paid £4 for it.
Whoa. I would have liked to have paid 30, but I was so charmed with Connie that I had to give her £40.
I'm going home with £40 and I might buy myself some lottery tickets.
You're obviously on a winning streak, Connie, so good luck. Now Jan Keane is fishing for a profit with David's silver cups.
I brought a pair of fishing trophies from the 1920s. They were won by a great uncle of mine. I suppose I'm looking for between 45 to 55 pounds for them, something along those lines.
And what will I be giving for them? 150? 200? I'll just see. I go with the flow, if you know what I mean.
David, you could be landing a whopper here. And the Duke and auctioneer Robert Stones are ready to help you haul it in.
Well, would you like to tell me about these two delightful cups that you brought in today?
Well, I was given them when I was a small child by an elderly auntie of my father's, and they've been in the family and ever since.
And so why does it seem the right time now to pass them on?
Well, I was up in the loft at the weekend and I thought I'm never going to use them or display them, so if somebody else would like them, I thought now's the chance.
I'm very pleased to see that you brought them in not polished, because actually it's very exciting when you clean them up yourself and you bring them to life. And you've got the nice little mark at the back with the London silver hallmark. And then if we read the front, Harrison Cup, winner F. Dawson, River D, Chester, September the 25th, 1924.
Amazing.
Isn't that lovely? So it was your
Great uncle.
great uncle.
I believe, yes.
And this one here is just slightly different. The River D again, but at a different turn at Churton.
Right.
September 27th, 1923. So a year apart. But they do match, of course, so they are a perfect pair. So I need to get some money out now.
That would be nice.
So I'll be fishing around to see what you're happy with, money-wise.
Robert and I, we're looking at this pair of sporting memorabilia trophies.
Yes.
You were quite partial to these. Tell me why.
These have got an inscription on them that makes them rather special.
And what is that?
Well, it's the River Dee fishing in the 1920s. Well, salmon, believe it or not, were running up the Dee, and people used to go fishing on the Dee, and it was a very special thing. So they really are very important from that point of view. So people that fish on the Dee still will see those, and they'll think they're really quite something.
The independent valuers, I think they've been a bit mean. They've gone 40 to 60, but perhaps because of your sporting connection, you've gone a lot stronger. How have you gone?
I did. I think we went about sort of 80 to 120, because I think the fishing people will recognise them for being something which is special.
Our seller, David, has sat down with Jan. I think she's going to like these. Let's see what she puts on the table.
50. 100. What do you think of that? £50 a cup.
Very nice. I wonder if you could do a little bit better for me, Jan.
Cast my rod a little further.
Oh, yes, you never know.
What about we say 120? And here comes another David to fill us in.
Well, David, I've just been talking with the auctioneer. Independent valuers said 40 to 60.
Yep.
Our auctioneer of the day said, no, I like these. And I think these are stronger, 80 to 120.
Yeah.
So I think Jan's pitched it absolutely right. £120, cast out, reel it in. I think that's the price.
Thank you, David.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because I'm so thrilled with them. I mean, I love the fact with these little fishermen, they're so quaint. I'm quite happy to put another £10 in and say 130. So do we have a deal?
I think we certainly do. Thank you very much, Jan.
Thank you for the deal.
Thank you very much.
130 quid. She liked to reel that in, didn't she?
Yes, very good.
What a good price.
About 3 times what I was expecting at the end when we got the 130. So, thank you very much.
And I've every confidence that there's a lot of people out there that collect anything to do with fishing memorabilia, and they're just so quaint, and I really look forward to cleaning them. They'll come up a tree.
All the better to net a buyer, eh, Jan? Coming up, Mark Stevens tries it on.
Do not tell me you're not going to put your hand out and shake mine.
But has he met his match?
You never accept the first offer from somebody, do you?
Where have you been? Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Every item in the den has a tale to tell, and Julie has brought James Late a family book full of fairy stories.
Bought in today a Peeps into Fairyland that we've had in our family for over 40 years. I'm hoping we get a good deal on it, because it's going to be divided between Mum and my sister and I, so I'm hoping over 300 if possible.
Nothing wrong with high expectations, Julie. Let's see what James makes of it.
So you brought along Peeps into Fairyland.
Yes, that's right.
Now, was this a book of yours when you were a child, or your mother's, or your grandmother's?
No, it was acquired by the family about 40 years ago. I can remember it when I was a child.
All right, okay. So you played with it?
No, we weren't allowed to play with
to?
it. No, not even my children. We were allowed to look at it.
Yeah.
But as you see inside, it's so delicate. We never touched it.
I mean, the cover itself had a lot of use.
Well, it's over 100 years old, so I'm sure we would, wouldn't we?
I'm sure we would. So you've had this for how many years, did you say?
About 40.
So this was
all in when we acquired it.
Presumably the first owner's name, and I see a date down here, 1910.
Well, there's an earlier one.
Earlier one here. So
yes.
she got it in 1910. All right.
1897.
1897. So that's presumably when it was published. I can't see a publishing date on there.
Published 1895.
Okay.
So.
But the great thing about this, isn't it, is that it's a pop-up book.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. Here we are, there's the first of the pop-ups. So this one is the procession of nursery rhymes. Now, do you know how many there are in the book?
I think there's about 7, I think.
Yeah. So that's the first one on the thing. Let's turn over and have a look at another one.
I think that's one of my daughter's favourites.
Okay, this is a visit to the Snow Queen's Palace. It is lovely, isn't it?
They are.
A very typical Victorian printing in these slightly muted colours. Probably printed in Germany. Does it say anything about it in the front? Bavaria,
Right.
Exactly, there we are. They were the sort of the cutting edge of printing technology, the Germans, at that period. Shall we look at one more? Because they're really good, aren't they? So this is the Fairy Lake.
Yeah.
It's very nice, isn't it?
It's kept very well, hasn't it? So
yeah, these are good. Yeah,
and
and often these hinges disappear in pop-up books, but these are all intact. So your parents have done a good thing, and so have you.
Yeah.
So you've loved it as a child, and you like it now. Why are you trying to sell it?
It's just in a suitcase under my mum's bed, so I'd like somebody else to appreciate it as much as we have over the years.
It is a very nice thing. So let's get some money out. I'd like to offer you 20, 40, 60 pounds for it.
I'd rather have pink ones, actually.
Pink ones? You mean £50 notes?
No,
oh, no. We're going to stick to.
No,
we're going to stick to 20s.
No, that's not even for the cover.
80.
No.
No. You're very determined.
Oh yes.
Okay. £100.
No.
I'm getting close to where I see it, I have to say.
No, it's.
So I'll put another one down from here. So that's 110.
No, thank you.
Not enough.
No.
Not enough. What do you think, David?
Well, I've just spoke with the independent valuers and auctioneers. We've been trawling through recent sales, trying to find something which is difficult to do to judge the condition. As far as we can see, £100 to £150 seems the parameter of expectation. The right buyer could pay a good price for this, but they're not easy to find. James is pricing this at where he thinks he can make a margin of profit on it. You have to gamble if you wish. Somebody else at the auction will give more.
Thank you.
So there. 110, as I said, is actually more than I intended to pay, but I do like it.
No, thank you. I'd rather go to auction.
You're going to have a go at auction?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, very good luck.
Thank you very
Sorry
much.
I couldn't buy it.
Thank you. A bit disappointed with James's offer today. I was hoping round about 300 mark. Hopefully it goes better at auction if somebody's there willing to pay the little extra.
Let's hope so. Perhaps the auctioneer can cast a spell and magic up some enthusiastic bidders.
Now, am I right in thinking your expectation is about £300 for this item?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you treasure it greatly. We have compromised. We have set a reserve at 150 quid.
Yes.
Unless it makes 150 quid, we are not going to sell it. So we just need the right specialist buyer for this type of thing. So fingers crossed, let's see what happens.
absolutely super thing. What may we say for it? £100 there now for this at £100 at 110.
There's got a bidder over there in the room.
110's in the room, 120 you're bidding now on the internet. 120, yes.
Internet's coming in now at 120, 130 in the room against the internet.
You want 140, 150, at 160 on the net. Yeah, 160 bid, 170, 170, 180 now.
We've got a two-way battle here between the internet and a bidder in the room. Two determined bidders, which is what we want to push the price up.
220, 220, 240.
Yes, come on, let's go.
At 260, at 240, the bid's on the internet then, at £240 then, going away at 240 then only.
240,000. That's put a smile to her face. Now we've got some commission. The dreaded commission has to come off. I make that just under £200, about £196. Now it is below your expectation because I know
that's
that
all right.
you
No, that's
really
good.
wanted
That's
it,
good.
but you're happy with that.
I'm very happy. Yes.
So on the day, the real deal was here in the sale room. Julie, you're happy?
I'm very happy. Thank you very much.
I'm happy, and on the day, I think it made its money.
Let's whiz over to Mark Stevens' table, where Graham wants to sell his gold watch chain.
My wife inherited it last year. We've had it in a drawer. We thought we may as well sell it and hopefully have a nice weekend away out of the proceeds.
Let's see what Mark wants to offer you.
Well, you've bought me in a 9-carat gold Albert chain today.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about it?
Well, actually, it's my wife who inherited it recently from her mother, and we found it effectively when we cleared out the house.
Well, straight away we can tell you it's made of 9-carat gold.
Okay.
And it used to hang from the waistcoat with the watch on, and the gentleman would take it out of his pocket and view the time. With this particular one, you have also a fob seal on it. Now, we've got 2 stones in that.
Yeah.
This is called a bloodstone, and when we turn it over here, this is a cornelian.
Okay.
9-carat gold, and it's hallmarked on the side.
Yeah.
Just there, can you see the hallmark running around there?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably dates from around about 1910, something that type of period. You can actually sell these. They're coming a little bit back because it's fashionable to wear a pocket watch.
Yes. Okay. Interesting.
Would you wear it?
No, I don't think so. No.
Right, so we put some money on the table.
Go on then.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 120, 140, 160, 180, 200. 220, 240, £260.
Yeah, it's not a bad offer.
Not a bad offer. It's a good offer. Oh, David's coming now.
Well, here you go.
Well, nice looking object. It is a usable, desirable object. I'm sure Mark, who is a top jewellery dealer, will be able to sell this to retail it. I don't think this is going to be scrapped. Estimates range from 200 to 250, 250 to £300. Now, I know when you arrived today, you had a very low estimation of this. What did you think the value of this item was?
I didn't really have a good idea. I thought, you know, £50, £100 maybe, but I'm not into...
Well, that just shows you, see, on Dickinson's Real Deal, we look after the people that come on this show, and we try and get them the very best price. Well, that's my job. So £260 on the table. I can't grumble with that. Good offer, nice item, and certainly more than your expectations. So I say, thanks, Mark, I'm taking that home, the money.
Well, Graham, why didn't you tell me that earlier on? You could have made my day. So there's £260 on the table, Graham. Do not tell me you're not going to put your hand out and shake mine.
Go on, squeeze a bit more.
Oh,
Go
I can't,
on.
honestly.
You must be able to. You never accept the first offer from somebody.
Well, it depends how good the first offer is.
You can manage a little bit more.
I can't, honestly. Oh.
Go on.
This is it. That is it. You've got. I feel like I've gone for one of those mangle machines, and I've just come out the other side.
I can't give it away. It belongs to my wife. She'd never forgive me.
Oh, I know the feeling. Well, £270 on the table. Can we have a deal, Graham?
Yes.
Thank you very much indeed. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My wife, it's her money, and she's a very keen gardener, so we'll perhaps find a nice garden to go and visit somewhere else in the country for the weekend.
bought the Albert chain, but Graham still made me pay that extra £10. He's got to leave me some profit, but there certainly isn't a lot in it now, but I can sell it.
Coming up, James puzzles over some 1970s jigsaws.
I'll boldly go where I've never been before.
Calling it a Tarza.
And Judy and Tim are pirouetting around each other.
You are skating on thin ice.
It's my ice to skate on.
It is exactly your ice to skate on.
Who'll be the first to crack? Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Northwich in Cheshire, where James Late is travelling back to the 1970s at warp speed.
Star Trek, slightly out of my remit, I must say. I used to like Star Trek all those years ago in the 60s. We'll have to see what happens, I think.
I paid £10 for these items at a car boot sale. James isn't my favourite dealer, as he's a bit mean at times, so I hope he upped his offer on these.
Better watch out, Jim. Set phasers to deal.
You're going to have to tell me all about these.
Yeah, I bought them from a car boot sale, and they were in a box of other stuff that it was all together.
Was it all Star Trek stuff?
No, it was all oddments, and they was at the bottom of the box.
Right.
I thought they're worth something. Jigsaw puzzles, Star Trek, new, unopened.
Okay, so these are, I see, 1979. Now, I used to watch Star Trek in the 60s, so these are kind of quite late, I would say, in terms of collectors' interest in Star Trek. I imagine that people want the earlier stuff.
That's the original series, isn't it? Captain Kirk, and
yeah.
I've looked on a popular internet sites.
Right.
Selling like hotcakes. You can't get enough.
Marvellous. I don't know how much to offer you for these. I have no idea. So I'll just test the market. 10, 20, 30, 40 quid. £10 each.
No, they're worth a lot more than that.
Are they?
A lot more.
Are you sure?
Positive.
I have no idea. Okay. 50, 60, 70 quid.
No,
Must be a good price.
No, you're getting close, but not close enough.
Now, David, I know, is an expert on Star Trek.
Well, not at all. I mean, I was just looking at the paperwork relating to this, and I was thinking, well, there are lots of Trekkies out there, the usual beam me up.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up, Scotty. Now, I've just looked at the prices that our independent valuers and auctioneer have said, and perhaps they're not in this galaxy, because they're saying somewhere between 20 and 40, whereas our dealer James has put 70 quid on there. I'm going to say that seems a decent offer, but you say you're not satisfied.
No.
What are you hoping for?
I was looking for £100.
Right, I'm going to walk away here and I'm going to beam myself up and I'm going to leave you with the Captain Kirk here and see what he thinks. Maybe we're underestimating them.
Well, there you are. You've heard what David has to say. My feeling is that if I got 20 quid each for them, I'd be very happy. So that leaves me a tenner profit. So I'm going to stick at 70. So it's up to you.
That's your final offer?
I think that's my final offer, yeah.
I would deal about that.
We got a deal. Excellent. Thank you very much for bringing
Thank you, James. I think £60 profit is a fair deal and leaves a little bit in for the dealer.
Well, I'll try and sell them at a profit. If I don't, I've got 4 grandchildren, so that's where they're going.
Oh, Star Trek The Next Generation. Now, Tim has a piece of silver that should be full of Eastern promise.
I bought a very interesting item along today, Jude.
Thank you.
It's a silver, I know some people are calling it a tarza, but I would say it's just a dish because a tarza's more on a stand.
Right, I didn't know what a tarza was.
It's a posh word for a cake stand as a tarza.
Right.
So if you ever get that in a pub quiz, you'll know
I'll know what it is. I will remember that.
Looking at this item, it's not English. It looks sort of like Middle Eastern or Persian. And if you turn it over there, we've got a mark there, silver mark. And we can tell it's silver because it's quite flexible, isn't it? Because obviously silver's a very malleable metal, there's a lot of give in it. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got it?
Well, I inherited it from an aunt whose husband had travelled in the Middle East around about the time of the Second World War.
He brought it back as a gift
Yes.
for your aunt then?
Yeah.
And did your aunt use it?
I don't think she did, maybe occasionally.
Do you use it, Judah?
No,
Never?
very, very rarely.
You've never had your French fancies on there?
No, I've never had my French fancies on there. I think it's a pretty thing and I would like somebody else to enjoy it.
Someone to appreciate
I also, there's various members of my family have big birthdays next year, so we're all saving up.
So, you're saving up for a birthday cake or a birthday celebration?
Some sort of celebration, I think, not just a cake.
There is a condition problem with it.
Right.
Which is...
Yes, it has a little split.
It's got a split in there.
Yeah.
Now, that'll be quite difficult to repair.
Right.
Because they'd have to let some silver into it and it would show. Now, some of this Islamic items are doing really quite good money, but it's a very specialist market.
Right.
Its value, to me, is in its silver content, but I'm not saying that it would get scrapped.
I think it would be a waste to scrap it, because it is pretty.
It is, it's beautifully made. It'd be a shame for it to end up in the pot, as we say. So, but I can only value it on its silver content.
Right.
And there's about 15 ounces in that.
Okay.
50, 100, 120 pounds, Judah.
Right, I have obviously spoken to people about the value of the piece and that is nowhere near enough.
Nowhere near enough? 140 pounds.
I'm afraid not. I want a better celebration than that.
Do you? I don't think that's a bad celebration. Right, 150 pounds, Judah.
It's difficult, it's money on the table and I appreciate that, but I'm afraid I'm going to say no.
I think we're at that point where you are skating on thin ice.
It's my ice to skate on.
It is exactly your ice to skate on. If I took that £10 away and said £160, Judah.
I'm afraid not.
No.
Another 220s and I'd be tempted.
I'm sure you would. No.
I will happily take it to auction.
You're going to take it to auction?
I'm going to take a chance.
I don't like people leaving my table without me giving it my best.
But if that's the best you can do... And
I think that's very good, Judy.
It's not bad at all, but it's not quite the amount I had in mind.
What about 170, Judy? No? Right, well, I think you're going to have to go to auction then.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for bringing it along, Judy.
Thank you. I wouldn't say I'm totally confident about going to auction because I know there's always a chance, but I shall look forward to it and try to keep a positive frame of mind.
What does auctioneer Robert Stones think?
I think the quality of it's fabulous, but it's just a question of whether or not the buyers will be interested in buying it with that particular fault. We'll have to see what the day brings, but it's a lovely thing, great quality.
50 is the now, 45, bids there at £45 then, £45.
I think the 170 was quite a decent offer because there's no commission.
No.
If you got £200, you'd have to take off £30, so you would be back to the same amount, 170. Anyway, you wanted to have a gamble, you wanted to experience the sale room. What do you think about it so far?
I think it's quite exciting.
It is quite exciting. The question is, have you done the right thing, Judy, by turning down 170? We're about to find out.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It is coming up now. Is it going to sell? Well, let's find out.
Super lot here, £100 and bid straight away, 110, 120, 130 anywhere now do I hear. At 130 on the internet, 140, 150, 160 is the now, 150, multiple bidding on the net, 160, 170 is the now, 170,
170, same money.
At £170 only at 170. Going to be sold at 170 only then at 170.
Worth a gamble. It went down at £170. We've got commission to take off. It's about 140. I think it's just a little bit under 140. So the commission makes all the difference.
Of course.
What do you think now?
Well, maybe I made a mistake, but well, hey, it's been fun to be here.
That's what the gamble is about, really. Not too disappointed?
No.
Enjoyed the day?
Very much so. It's been lovely.
That's the real deal. Coming on the show and enjoying yourself.
Coming up, Paul is taking his family out.
And of course we need a drink as well, won't we?
What's the pint these days? Couple of quid?
We're not, we're champagne drinkers.
Cheryl's selling her fizz, but someone seems to have their eyes on it.
Oh, the good life.
Next up, Paul is keen to sell his super stylish modern glassware to Jan.
And I'm hoping to get £150 today. And I know Jan's a canny dealer, and I'm going to try and get as much money as I possibly can out of it.
I don't think I'm going to be giving a fortune for them because I'm a little bit out of my depth. I'm not sure how much they're worth.
Paul's clear about what he wants, so let's see if you can do a deal.
So would you like to tell me about these 2 pieces of glass you bought in today?
I used to run a little pub in Buckley in North Wales, and there was a gentleman that used to come in there, and he used to sell all bits and bobs of antiques and stuff, and these were part of a collection in which he was selling at one particular time.
And how long have you had them?
I think I bought them about 10 years ago now. My good wife, she needs a space in the house.
Don't we all?
I think it's time for them to leave.
So do you know anything about the artist?
I know a little bit about the particular artist, John Ditchfield, who's based over in Blackpool, and he's got quite a good reputation.
But I understand that he started his glassworks in 1983 in Blackpool, and underneath it's quite clearly engraved J. Ditchfield, and obviously he named his firm Glassform. But the nice thing about them is that they're both perfect, and no one's making any excuses for any chips or little nibbles or anything like that. Is nice. Quite what I'm going to offer you, I've absolutely no idea at this point. I don't know what sort of expectations you've got.
Like I said, they're very sought after and very expensive.
£50.
It's a very good start. I think we've gone the wrong colour.
Ooh, really? What's the money going to be spent on?
I think it'll be spent on taking the family out for a meal. And of course we need a drink as well, won't we?
What's a pint these days? Couple of quid?
We're not, we're champagne drinkers. I wish.
I bet you will be after this if you're not now.
I don't think so.
Oh, what do you think of 90?
I'll be straight with you. I paid about 150 for them myself.
So 150 isn't really going to buy these?
Well, put it down, let's find out.
So that's 75 a piece at 150. What do you think about that?
Well, let's cover the vases, now let's cover the meal.
How about another 20?
Go on, and if you want to put another 20 down, that'd be good.
Do you know, I think I'll take you with me to sell them. I reckon you'd make a real good job of it.
I'll have a go.
Tell you what, 180.
Do you know something? I'm not a greedy person, and I'll take your offer, thank you very much, because everyone's got to make a living.
Well, that's very nice of you. I'm gobsmacked.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jan was fantastic, very nice to speak to, and the wife's going to be so chuffed about the space plus the money, because I dare say by the time that I get out of here it will be going out of my hands straight into her purse.
I'm quite happy. If I make £20, I'm quite happy.
In the last deal of the day, Cheryl has brought Mark a big bottle of bubbly, but this is no ordinary fizz.
Nice, unusual combination, champagne in a humidor. I'd like to try and buy it.
Be warned, Mr. Stevens. You just can't get your hands on this kind of quality on the cheap.
My dad won it in a £1 raffle, but I'm not going to tell the dealer that until the end.
Good plan, Cheryl.
Please tell me, how did you come by this?
My dad acquired it but how he got it, I will tell you at the end.
Right, okay. Well, that's a little bit ominous. Well, let me go for it, but I'm sure you're well aware. This is a wonderful bottle of champagne by Runart. Very good company, make fantastic champagne. In fact, one of my favourites, I've got to say. I believe this was made for the millennium in the year 2000. This is number 496 of 14,000 that were made. And what makes it different is, number one, the box. Once we've taken the bottle of champagne out and we place it like that, and we would put these into the box, and these would then keep the cigars that are placed in here nice and moist so they don't dry out, and then you've got a wonderful humidor. And there's also another added bonus to this. The bottle is held in a wonderful cage, but the cage is made by one of the best French plate makers, Christoffel. Been around for a long time. They make top quality French plate. They really are that good. Now, when this was purchased, it would not have been cheap, and probably bought in possibly Harrods or Selfridges, something like that, as a gift. Oh, it was bought in Harrods?
Yeah.
Right, that would tie in. Now, the only thing for me is that, what do I do with it? Do I sell it or do I drink it? And I think somebody I know...
Oh, the good life, oh, the good life.
Well, yes, I think that's about right. But I'm going to put some money on the table and see how we go. Right, let's see. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 120, 140, 160, 180, 200. £220.
Oh, the good life. I'm trying to assess it. We know it's bought in Harrods. We know it would be expensive. My guess is somewhere between £800 and £1,200 when they paid for it retail. I'll tell you now, the estimate I think is about 300 quid. It's actually 2 to 3 from our independent values. I'm going to say £220 from a big spender is not big enough.
Oh.
Okay, Lovey?
I want it for myself,
Well,
David.
I know that, but I mean, we think it's worth twice that. I'm going to say, hey, big spender, get some more money on the table, and then I'll be back.
Oh dear. The 220 on the table. 240, £260. £280.
Well, I think we're getting up there. We're getting a price there. There is a lovely story to this, and I want to tell the story because it doesn't matter. Your father won this in a raffle.
Yeah.
And what did he pay for the ticket in the raffle?
£1.
Yes!
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic.
So a fantastic win, but nevertheless it doesn't alter to what he won was a very special prize. And how much?
280. 300 quid, David.
Right, I'm going to stand back at that and say 300, not a bad price. If you got 400 in the auction and you took off £60, it would be 340.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you with big spender, and I'm going to say try and get it together. I think he desperately wants to buy it.
What David said about if it went for 400 at the auction and then it'd be 340 after commission, would you meet that 340?
Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put another 20 down. You've got 320 quid. I think it's a win-win situation there. Are you happy with that?
Yes.
We got a deal?
Yeah.
320. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. I'm absolutely delighted to buy it, and I know somewhere along the line I'm going to make somebody very happy.
Could that someone be you, Mark? So, are our dealers living a champagne lifestyle on the back of today's deals?
So that leaves me a £10
It's strictly bread and dripping for Tim and James. Neither of them sold a thing.
It's been a pleasure.
Mark did a little better, making a small profit out of Graham's gold watch chain.
Thank you for the deal.
But even Jam's day wasn't exactly vintage. She polished up the fishing trophies and made £30 profit, and made another 50 when she sold the ditch-filled vases to a collector. A lot of hard work for a total of £80. By comparison, our sellers are living the high life. Paul made nearly as much as Jan on his vases, pushing her quite hard.
How about another 20?
Go on, and if you want to put another 20 down, that'd be good.
Connie kept quiet about what she paid for her vase.
£4, but I'm not going to tell Tim that.
To make sure Tim gave his best price of £40.
You've got a very good deal there, Connie.
Paul got a real bargain when he bought the Star Trek jigsaws for £10.
I bought them from a car boot sale and they was at the bottom of the box.
He squeezed an interstellar profit of 600% out of James. And Cheryl really has something to celebrate. Her dad won the special Millennium Champagne in a raffle, so she's taking him a sparkling profit of £319. Bottoms up.
Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. See you.